So the 10 Days Memories event is here, and I know some of you guys prefer to just click on the skip button rather than reading the whole story. So I was thinking of covering the whole event for you all so you don't have to. And thus, this video would be about the story of the 10 Days Memories event. Originally released in 2021, this event tells us the story of Emil and Ada Mesmer, about who they were, how they met, and how both of them eventually fell in love and escaped the asylum together. I'd add some more info from other events, and I'll try to wrap it up in 10 minutes, so it'll be quite brief, but it also won't take too much of your time. The story began with Orpheus finding 2 files at the manor, with one being a stack of patient records, and the other being an old trunk. We are then given a choice to dive deep into one of the 2 files, with the patient records letting us dive into Emil's story, and the old trunk letting us dive into Ada's story. It's always hard to choose, so let's just choose both. Set in an asylum called the White Sand Street Asylum, the story begins with a certain patient waking up from his sleep, remembering that his name was Emil. Emil remembered that he was one of the mentally impaired patients in this asylum. On the same day, a trainee doctor arrived to report to the asylum to undergo an 11-day training program. Her name is Ada Mesmer, and she was once a researcher in the field of psychology before her colleagues shut down her research. A nurse gave Ada a patient list in the asylum, and Ada found out that some dangerous patients were placed in a solitary confinement area called the cage. Among those who were deemed dangerous was Emil, who, according to the data, suffered from amnesia and was prone to manic fits and aggression. The second day started with Emil complaining about his headache. And it's a different headache from your usual study or work-related stress, by the way. It's something way, way worse. All Emil remembered was the pain from whatever medication the asylum gave him. And worse, he didn't remember why he should be treated there in the first place. Ada was complaining as well on this second day. The trainee doctor complained that the doctors here seemed to be more untrained than herself. She loathed the methods of treating patients here at the asylum, which included bloodletting, electroshock therapy, and sedatives. Even so, she kept all these thoughts to herself. It was on the second day that Ada met Emil. What surprised Ada was that, unlike any other patients, Emil didn't seem as terrified as the other patients when the doctors came to him. He even smiled after the treatment was over, which made Ada curious since this was the first time she had seen this kind of reaction from a patient. On the third day, Ada recalled her days when she was practicing hypnotherapy. She mentioned that the patients she tried to deal with did not respond to her hypnotherapy while they were in intense pain. No one had much faith in her research, and eventually, her research had to be shut down, leading her to despise her colleagues, and that included her father. So guys, if you somehow had a quarrel with your father, don't worry, you're not the only one, okay? Anyway, she was the only doctor available on that day, and while checking on Emil, she noticed that the amnesiac had another manic episode. Emil, in his own mind, hallucinated a shadowy figure that made him afraid. All that Ada could do was calm him down. In a desperate attempt, she blew a whistle to distract him. And surprisingly, that whistle calmed the patient down. This amazed Ada, since Emil was the first patient to respond to such a method. Ada, curious about what had happened the day before, began secretly experimenting on Emil. She secretly lowered the dosage of the medication and increased the intensity of the electroshock therapy Emil had to deal with. Both factors combined led to Emil experiencing more intense pain than usual, to the point that he begged for help and for the treatment to stop. Still, even with that intense pain, Emil was somehow calm when Ada blew her whistle. Since Emil was the first person to respond to her hypnotherapy, Ada concluded that he was the best experiment subject for her. Ada was feeling conflicted about whatever she had done to Emil. It was, after all, unethical for a doctor to experiment on their patient without the patient's consent, and so Ada told Emil the truth. She told him that she had lowered his medication, explaining that too much medication would damage his nervous system. Emil, on the other hand, felt relieved with Ada. In his eyes, Ada was always gentler than any other doctor. He realized that the treatment had been much more painful than before, and later realized that it happened because Ada had lowered his sedatives. However, for some reason, Emil did not mind at all, especially after Ada told Emil that she wanted to help him. Ada gave Emil a choice, whether to continue with his usual medication or try Ada's method. Emil chose the latter, much to Ada's joy. By this day, Ada's feelings towards Emil had developed into something else. She admitted that she had feelings for him. There was no treatment schedule that day for Ada, so she went to pick 2 flowers. She wanted to give one of them to Emil, but he was asleep. Ada put the flowers near him, and when she was about to leave, Emil unconsciously muttered her name in his sleep, thus making her feelings even more complicated. Or rather, she thought that she should leave this place with Emil. In addition to this, the 2022 Valentine event seemingly suggested that Emil muttered something called bread to Ada, and this made Ada recall her memories of giving a loaf of bread to a beggar boy back in her teenage days. She wondered if Emil was that boy. Emil, on the other hand, admitted that he saw fewer and fewer nightmares thanks to Ada. When he woke up and received the gift from Ada, he knew that he needed to give something to her in return. Emil was a lunatic. And what kind of gift do you think a lunatic can give to his doctor? Well, for Emil, it was a ring made of iron wire. Think of it as proposing to your girlfriend when you play bride as a child and need to make a toy ring. For Ada, however, that wasn't a toy. Even when Emil hesitated to give it to Ada, since he was afraid Ada would look at it as a threat, Ada wore the ring in front of him, with no fear at all in her eyes. If anything, she was overjoyed. It was the first time a lunatic patient had given something in return to her. Ada considered this both a success of her experiment, as well as a genuine feeling from Emil. She was even more determined to escape the asylum with Emil after that. Ada was determined to leave the asylum together with Emil. Likewise, Emil wanted to always be at Ada's side. In Ada's eyes, Emil was a perfect test subject, as well as someone she held dear. For Emil, Ada was someone who alleviated his nightmares. Ada told Emil that they would both leave together in 3 days, saying that she would treat Emil with her own method and that they would always be together. Ada told Emil that they would leave the next dawn. There had been a commotion in the asylum on that day since a patient had escaped from the asylum, and if you're wondering who she was, it's strongly believed to be Lisa Beck. There would be many lookouts because of that, and Ada told Emil to prepare some kind of tool to help them escape. After giving Emil a small gift made from wire, they both successfully escaped from the asylum. October 10th is the day both Ada and Emil escaped, and thus it became their birthday. No one knows when the real birthday of either Ada or Emil is. Ada took a list of patients in the asylum with her when she escaped. She continued her research on Emil after both of them escaped the asylum. They moved to a secluded place, somewhere near the woods, and by the river. As time went by, Emil was reintegrated into his new life. He was taught to write, interact with others, go shopping, and basically do daily life things. At the same time, Ada continued her research and medication for Emil. Things went well initially, but then Ada's treatment slowly deteriorated and became less and less effective. By the 3rd year, her medications had largely failed. A certain novelist then approached her, offering an experimental medication for Emil in exchange for the patient list Ada had brought along from the asylum. While she initially hesitated, Ada eventually agreed, and both Emil and Ada went on to the manor to receive the medication. The story then led to Game 0. Thanks for watching and have a good day.